Welcome, chosen fans. They're here. Barnaby and Shula, better known as Aalok Mehta and Beyer, here in the 21st century at least. And they'll be coming right up on Chatting with the Chosen. Well, Aalok and Ann, welcome. Thank you for coming.
Thank you.
Thank you for having us.
I know that our fans are going to be very excited about this interview. You seem to be favorites, especially on all the questions that were written in. Everybody always said, "You're my favorite. You're my favorite." So we've got to get to this. Aalok, I know that your name is Indian origin. Is that correct?
Correct. Yeah.
So what is that? Hindi, Sanskrit, Bengali? What?
All of it. Yeah. I mean, it's a common name in Bengali, Aalok, but it's the root is Sanskrit. Yeah. So it means light, vision, and splendor.
You took my line away. I was going to tell you it meant light, brilliance, vision, and splendor.
Yeah, and sometimes it means like celestial light as well.
Celestial light, and you're in a celestial movie. How about that?
Yeah.
And Anne, which I think yours comes from Hannah. Am I correct?
That's correct, and it means God's grace and God's favor.
See, you guys know that too. A Hebrew origin meaning gracious or grace, and God has favored me. And of course, in the Christian Bible, Mary's mother was named Anne. Or Anna, as you would pronounce it. How do you pronounce that in German?
Anna.
Anna? That's how it is in German?
Anna, yeah, no A in the end. So we have the name Anna and then Anna. It's with a schwa in the end, Anna. Yeah.
Anna.
I see. And of course, I asked ladies first, Aalok, if that's okay.
Please.
You were born in Germany, Anne?
That's correct. Born in Southwest Germany in the wine country.
I see. You know what I wanted to do? Excuse me for just a minute. I don't usually do this, but we had a question in from Nancy Irwin Flint. And the reason why I'm bringing this up is because Nancy asked every question that we'll probably ask throughout the hour. She said, she wants to know where you grew up, how you started acting, and where you trained. And we'll get to that. So, Nancy, I didn't want you to feel that we forgot you. I'm not going to introduce you at those questions, but we will get to every one of those questions. And she asked, please tell them how wonderful their characters are. So that is...
Thank you, Nancy.
Thank you, Nancy.
So, and just tell us a little bit about your upbringings, or where you were born and raised.
Sure. I was born, like I said, in Southwest Germany in the wine country. Not the beer country, the wine country. And I have an older brother and I have a younger sister. She's 13 years younger than me, and my brother is a couple of years younger than me. And
So I understand you were also a runway model?
Oh, yeah. Wow. Yeah. Where did you find that? A good web.
We find it. And you also hold a BA in acting. Is that correct? From the Royal Birmingham Conservatory?
Yeah, in England, yes. Yeah, with a 3-year scholarship. Thank you, Birmingham School of Acting, aka Royal Academy of Acting, Royal Conservatoire of Acting, yeah.
And you performed on stages in 4 different countries, yes?
Yeah, that's my IMDb bio, yes.
Well, you hit your bio. Aalok, you're not out of this either, because you were born and raised actually in New Jersey, correct?
Correct.
But you spent some time in India during your childhood.
I will not tell you my social security number, so don't ask.
Listen, if it's not out there, we're not asking.
Listen.
But I understand that you did visit India as a child.
Yes, very much so.
You fell in love with Indian music.
Correct. Yeah. I studied Indian classical music. I started actually with an instrument called the harmonium. It's a pumping reed instrument, keyboard instrument, when I was 7, and then graduated toward playing keyboards and singing in rock bands, and then I went back to India in my teenage years to study the sitar, and then I studied North Indian classical music on sitar, and I still play.
Now you're listed as an interdisciplinary actor. So can you tell me what that means?
Is this also my bio? That's probably my anonymously written bio. I don't know.
IMDb.com, guys.
Yeah,
IMDb.com.
Who came up with that word? Yeah. I mean, interdisciplinary, as you just touched on, I'm a musician as well. So yes, interdisciplines. Yeah. Many, not just, I think nowadays, a lot of actors and artists in general, in whatever mediums, tend to be, hyphenates, actor, producer, writer, musician, in my case, sound designer, audio engineer, music composer, sitar player. Yeah. So a lot of different things all under the umbrella of artistic entertainment. However, I'm starting to now finally, I think after many years of feeling kind of pulled, either as an actor, as a musician, or what am I, and what's my identity? And, a lot of it is a chatter you hear and you pull in with friends being like, oh, you're a musician, man. You're a musician first. So no, you're an actor. And I think now I'm starting to feel comfortable with kind of the oneness of all of it and how it all really is just one. And that underlying thing aside that you're communicating and storytelling, that's paramount, not necessarily the medium and how, and what part of what cog within the wheel you are,
Right. And let's switch it over to you. When did you fall in love with acting?
Well, in high school, like everyone else, I guess. And then I went to a theater academy in Germany and didn't finish because I was cast out of theater, out of the theater academy into a theater. I was cast for a Southwest Germany tour and realized I really need some tools. So, not having the basics, not having an acting degree, I felt like it's something I needed to really, go further. And then I spent a year in Greece and Crete and did what we call in Germany animateur. Those are the people who entertain the guests, who play with them, sports during the day and then do the evening program. So I did that for a year. And then I moved to England and auditioned for drama schools and was accepted into a couple and got a 3-year scholarship, as already mentioned. And yeah.
How about you, Aalok? When did you fall in love with acting?
So I was primarily a musician first, and I always kind of had this desire to perform. Though it was always as a musician. I'd done maybe a couple little things here and there, and then my brother is a writer-director, and he was writing a movie back around 2000. That was about a musician, and it was about an Indian American musician coming of age story, kind of a by the numbers hero's journey kind of thing, where he's in college to study medicine, and he's pretending that he's studying to be a doctor, but really he's lying to his parents, and he's a musician. So it's a sort of intergenerational kind of following your dream kind of story. And he was writing it, and I was always involved as a musician on the project. And then the closer and closer we got to casting, and I was reading with people, and it just made sense that I would be the guy. So a bit of a nepo baby story for me. So I got into it, through nepotism in that sense. And the movie ended up winning the Slam Dance Film Festival Audience Award and won the Gen Art Festival. And it was I was like, oh, I can do this. And then I moved to LA and got into this really great acting class, because here I was with a movie out in theaters, but no training really as an actor, other than I'd taken acting classes for maybe a year or two. That's it. And then I studied kind of for about a decade at the Beverly Hills Playhouse in LA with the late Milton Katselas, and Alan Barton was another great teacher of mine, Richard Lawson, some of these guys. So yeah, I pretty much learned as an adult, and going each week, doing scenes in a scene study class, and with some great teachers, with all professional actors for at least a decade. I want to say 10, 15 years, just kind of almost apprenticeship style. And then on the job as well along the ways, and still learning every day.
Did you have a favorite actor?
Favorite actor? Oh, you know what? I think I have there's different movies and TV shows and things that move me in particular moments. But it's hard to pinpoint one particular actor. I love Gary Oldman. I think he's amazing. You know, he's one of my favorites. Obviously, Daniel Day-Lewis, you know, some of the greats, Al Pacino, De Niro. You know, these are the guys that kind of inspired me. Denzel Washington, Meryl Streep, you know, kind of the big ones, you know, and just watching them and learning. But yeah, I mean, I feel like every day, every time I'm watching some new TV show, I'm blown away by you know, people's craft and, you know, the range of the depth of what people are doing, you know, just nowadays on TV, some great work is happening on TV. I guess right now I just watched Yellow Jackets. I'm on season 2, so acting on that show. Melanie Linsky, I was just watching it last night. That's just fresh because I just saw it last night, and just finished The Offer on Paramount Plus about the making of The Godfather. Oh, that is just really good. Underrated, I would say. But yeah, a lot of too many to list. But yeah, so I also grew up watching Bollywood. Well, what is now called Bollywood, but just Hindi films. And there are some great Hindi movie stars who, it's a very different tone, at least in the 70s and 80s. It's very much song and dance and kind of presentational compared to what we're used to out here, but grew up watching that stuff as well. And I loved comedians too, stand-up comics like Eddie Murphy. And, you know, these are some of my, you know, Chris Rock, Chris Tucker, these guys, you know, grew up watching.
How about you, Ann? Favorite actor or actress while growing up?
Well, while growing up, since, you know, I came from modeling into acting, I really looked up to, and still do, to Angelina Jolie. She's just, you know, how she made the transition was to me very, you know, important to follow and to see. Other than that, I'm like on the same page as Aalok. You know, there's so much great content out there, and every time I watch another show, and like, oh my gosh, I haven't seen that actor in some, you know, some time, or who is that actor? Is that actor? And then, you know, looking them up on imdb.com. Very important, guys. If you ever want to look up an actor, don't go on Wikipedia or Google it. Go on imdb.com. Very important.
That's the tip.
Hey, Noah Glenn Bennett here, founder of Against the Tide Media, and I come bearing a message. Our channel is your channel, so if you enjoy these videos, please subscribe if you haven't already. Like this video. You'd be surprised by how much leaving a simple comment helps boost YouTube's algorithms and puts our channel in front of so many more people. I actually made a video like this a while back, and apparently it helped. A lot. The team and I are working harder than ever to create content with the cast and crew of your favorite light-inspiring movies and shows. And surprise! Now we're making our own. Enter Anti, a story that dares to ask if even the man who could be used as the Antichrist has a chance for redemption. You can learn more about how to support that project at antiseries.com. Thank you so much. On with the show.
So let's get into the Chosen now. So when you guys heard about this, we'll have to do this one at a time. And we're still on you, so let's talk with you. When you heard about the Chosen, what were your first thoughts?
My audition. And then I read the first episode, and it blew me away. The writing is just so. When I heard it's a faith-based project, I was a little hesitant, because you can easily be put in a box.
God did something that you felt contradicted the Torah. Would you tell him to get back in that box that you have carved for him? Or would you question your interpretation of the Torah?
And as an actor, especially, you know, Aalok and I, we both come from theater, so we're a little bit more open, you know, a little bit more, yes, I want to transform. I want to play people you know, that are so far away from who I really am. You know, that's the fun and being an actor. So when I heard faith-based project, I was a little hesitant and a little skeptic, but reading it, and oh my gosh, it was so well written and so modern and so real. And yeah, so I was in after reading the first episode. Yeah.
Did you feel the same way, Aalok?
Yeah, well, you know what, I think so just a little history. I got the audition just through your normal channels of kind of the textbook way. Your agent submits you to the casting director. The casting director looks at your material and calls you in. So, you know, it was just another audition. After so many years of doing this, it's you try to condition yourself to not be precious about any one thing, or, you know, say, oh man, this is it, or this is amazing. because even if it is, you may or may not book it. And you don't know anything. You just get the sides. And I thought, okay, the sides are well written. This is pretty cool. It was just seemed like a fun audition. I actually auditioned for the role of Nicodemus. So there was some great big, long speeches, and Dallas was in the room in the audition. And this was in Dallas. I was in Texas. So it was kind of serendipitous that I was in Texas for a little while my wife, who's an actress, is doing a show in India. And 2 young kids. So, it takes a village, and my in-laws live in Texas. So I was based there for about 6 months. And during that time, my LA, New York managers got me hooked up with a local Dallas agent. And this was I think the only theatrical local audition that I had where I went in person in Dallas, and he was there, and the audition went really well. I felt like I was maybe 10, 15 years too young for the role, maybe 20. Years too young, but it was a great opportunity. Whenever you get a piece of work, sometimes even if that casting is not yours, you still go in and maybe they'll see something else. There's countless stories you hear of people auditioning for one role and getting another role. And like De Niro for Godfather, he auditioned for the role of Sonny, and he didn't get that role. And that was the greatest audition of his life, was something he didn't get. So, so I tend to have that attitude. I went in, did Nicodemus. And then I think a few weeks later, I got a call to read for just like a 1 episode. The guy in the pilot who Matthew gets a ride from in the very beginning, when he steps in, the manure and he throws out his sandals, is episode 1 and in the pilot. So that was just a few line thing. And, I did that. And then I guess Dallas created the role of Barnaby. It was never in the script, or it was never in the breakdowns or any of that. So I think maybe he saw something, in me, that he thought I could play this character.
Well, apparently something good can come from
auditioning. I think being on set is when I kind of realized, okay, this is a really cool project. This is not a normal project.
Right, because faith-based could be a little scary. A lot of people are moving away from faith, it seems, and yet you're getting involved in a very big faith-based. Now, we come from all different faiths. So, Anne, is there any stories from like religious stories, religious backgrounds, biblical stories that have ever captured your imagination, that overwhelmed you?
Well, I mean,
I think we'll need 10, 15 hours for that, right?
Yeah, I know.
Minimum, maybe a few days. Yeah.
There are so many. But I guess like my religious background is I was brought up Protestant. I was baptized as a baby into the Protestant church. But went my own way. And then I made my own decision to have a relationship with God, and that was in my 20s. And even when I wasn't a Christian, I watched, or I was far away from God, I was watching The Passion of Christ, Mel Gibson's Passion of Christ, and I just watched it because everyone talked about it. It was in the movie theaters, and I watched it in my London apartment on a little laptop, and this movie, I'm choking up right now, this movie really brought me back to my knees. I mean, it was really like, oh my gosh, this really happened because, he loves me so much. That's probably the most fascinating and moving story.
Aalok, did you have any from your background, maybe any religious?
I mean, too many to talk. I mean, in every frame of life, and, I'd say there is, that inspiration is there. So, however you define it, whether you're conscious of it or not is, I think it is ever present. And on a show like this, what's really cool is that you get to kind of use your belief in a tangible way as an actor. And I think that has been really special about this show is to really bring whatever, your personal faith is into the actual technique as an actor. So at least for me, that's been pretty cool is, when you have these scenes with Jonathan and like season 3, when we did the healing scene, it was, I had a lot of kind of, you create a backstory, you kind of personalize it, and you have all these things that help you get in as an actor. But in the case of that scene particularly, it was, as an actor, it was easier in a sense to just let go and just kind of believe, that this is happening in this moment, and that this, and just be there and be present and allow that divinity to kind of be inherent in the storytelling and in how we created the scene, how we acted, how we shot it, and all of it, and how we related with each other.
What about him?
No. I'm fine. This is about you. Some other time, maybe.
We'll see.
Wait a minute.
Here it is.
My leg? Did you?
Of course he did, Barnaby. Who else?
Thank you.
You're welcome, Barnaby. Now, get Shula to her home. You can do it faster than normal tonight, huh?
And Jonathan is such a conduit, and a channel, an open channel that sometimes, if you're wondering what to do as an actor and you're in a scene with him, just let go of your intellect. It's hard because you got to hit marks, you got to say lines, you got to do this, you got to, there's a lot of technical stuff, but there are moments, especially during this show, where all of that cumulative work, or maybe just letting go of your sort of conscious analytical mind and just giving into this faith, that there are moments where that really works on the show, and it's in a way it kind of simplifies what to do as an actor.
It's funny because it's saying let go and let God.
Yeah, exactly.
So you mentioned something about a backstory, so let me just throw it towards Anne, and then we'll come back to you, Alok. Did the writers create an involved backstory for the characters, or did they leave a lot of that to the actors? And that's written in from Tish Holmes. So, Anne, could you answer that for us?
A lot was left up to us, just because I think there's not a lot written about Barnaby and Shula. So, and as Alok already said, those were new characters they created. So I guess they wanted to see what we do with it and where we go with it. I remember before we started shooting, Dallas called me and told me that he's very excited about Barnaby and Shula because he sees them as like a comedic relief, popping up here and there in different scenes.
Suppose they figured the master was delayed in coming. So they took a nap on his bed, got drunk on his wine, and let their lamps burn down.
That's easy. They would be fired and then kicked out, called a name, and told that if they ever show their face around here again...
My friends, shalom, shalom.
We were just passing by and heard a familiar voice.
We heard about the wedding. Can you do that to the well by my house?
And then I guess it was up to us how we envisioned that. That is so not my typecast. When I heard that, I was scared because I'm not the comedy type. I'm like dark drama. That's my typecast. So hearing that, I'm like, oh my gosh, are you sure you have the right girl? And, which was so interesting then because we developed that Alok's, Barnaby's energy and then my energy, which then all of a sudden worked. But yeah, we definitely worked on that.
I see. We have a question from Gem4490. I don't have her name, but that's her email. And I'll ask you, Alok. If you were not paired together, which other person would you want to pal around with on the show?
Okay. So many, but the first person that comes to mind is Matthew. Only because I feel like there's a moment of this in I think I can't remember if this is episode 106 or 107 where there was the feast at Matthew's house, where I felt like there was a hint of a little banter there, where Matthew made a joke like, Barnaby, you like to eat, and then Barnaby made some crack back, about when you're not behind bars, you're actually quite good looking. There's that little, I feel like there could be a sort of a ribbing relationship there where Matthew just, I think Matthew just doesn't like he's just, he sees Barnaby and it doesn't quite compute. This is my perception. It's just like, he's probably just like annoyed. So I think there could be a cool odd couple kind of, polarity with those two. So yeah, Dallas, putting it out there. Some comedy Matthew Barnaby scenes. Yeah.
Awesome. Okay. So we have Kathy Tierney Hart, who first I have to say that she just loves Barnaby and Shula, and the healings in season 3 were just beautiful and so heartwarming. So I wanted to get that out.
Thank you.
And she wanted to know, Anne, how did you prepare for the role of playing a blind woman? And were you wearing, as we spoke about this earlier, about wearing contacts? And then I'll ask you her second part question, Aalok, because she has a second question for you. But Anne, you go to that.
Right. So when I talked with Dallas about her blindness, we discussed that she can still see shadows. And yes, I did wear contacts, and the contacts actually made me see only shadows. So it was easy to slip into it just because you had, the physicality of it. You really experienced it to some degree. But how I really prepared for her was, there are different acting methods. And I used a method where you choose an actual person who actually lives, who actually exists, and you study that person and their behavior, and you kind of adopt it and make it your own. So I studied and watched a lot of interviews with the amazing blind cook, Christina Ha. She won season 3 of, MasterChef with Gordon Ramsay. And I watched her, I watched the whole show, I watched her winning it. And I follow her on Instagram, the blind cook, follow her. She's just really amazing. And she is literally blind. She sees the shadows, but she is a beautiful woman. She is so strong. She has such a, she has such a strength. She radiates. So I didn't want to play Shula as a victim, but as a strong woman who just is blind. That's just a side thing that she has.
You redeemed my friend. Mary's miracle was so clear to me. I didn't need sight.
I know. You see better than most in this region.
So Barb in Columbus also asked, and she loves Barnaby and Shula as well, how difficult has it been to act with your infirmities?
Is that to Aalok or to me?
Well, I mean,
because your infirmity was a little tougher.
Yeah.
No, go ahead. And obviously you had a lot more.
How difficult was it? So because I could see only shadows, and when there was no light or no sun, there was no shadow, so I didn't see anything. I needed a handler, a person who was guiding me around on set. And it was a little, with things like, and these contacts were really big. So getting them in and out was a bit difficult. So I didn't take them out when I went for lunch. I didn't take them out when I went to the bathroom. So, really living that all day long with the contacts on was a challenge, but it was beautiful. It was beautiful to experience.
I see. And Barnaby, you had you had the limp. Did you ever forget that?
Sorry?
Did you ever forget that you had a limp?
No, you know what? It's similar to, not to the extent as Anne, but given that, the prop was there, in her case, the actual context, making her not able to see. In my case, if prop master would hand you the crutch. So, when you're actually physically holding a crutch, it's hard to forget that you have a crutch there. So yeah, I was I no pun intended leaned into it.
And of course you had a lead Anne who was blind, so
exactly, yeah. And in a sense, even when we'd yell cut, I would assist Anne, the actor, as Shula, where the mark was, and kind of I was. So very quickly, Aalok and Anne, developed a professional relationship where I was helping her too, because she physically literally couldn't see. So I think we, in that sense, that almost helped us kind of, build that relationship that was there in the writing as well.
Yeah, I guess, we don't think of that. When they yell cut, you're still blind. You still cannot see.
She is blind.
She is blind.
Can you see now? Oh, that's right. You were healed.
What? Did it work? Did it?
I want to stick with Kathy Hart because she asked 2 questions. So she asked you, Aalok, she saw a music video from a few years back, and she says you have a great voice. And do you still sing?
Oh, thank you, Kathy. Yeah, I do sing. And in fact, I worked on a musical last summer at the Lincoln Center in New York, and probably going to be doing that again. Yeah, I do sing. I probably sang a lot more at one point when I was singing in bands and stuff, but I still will perform musical theater occasionally and sing. And I'm in a family of singers. My wife's a singer, and my daughter now, who's 10, has totally got the bug, and she's singing as well. So, I'm kind of, we're trying to pass that down to her as well. And so, yeah, absolutely. Thank you, Kathy, for asking that. I feel like I should sing more now.
Well, we'll listen, but we'll only give you a minute.
Yeah. Oh, no, I didn't mean it right now. I mean, it sounds like Kathy has a lot of questions. And Kathy, you should probably do your own podcast, and then we'll do a little number there.
Okay, so who do we have? We have Anita Harrington, who, by the way, love them both. They're awesome work. She wants to know what has been the most enjoyable part of working on The Chosen, and how does it compare to other projects you've worked on? Let's stay with you, Aalok, for that one.
Yeah, I mean, it's just it is an incredible project. Literally, and metaphorically, God sent. It is really different in that I've been lucky enough to be on some projects where you have that sense of family that you create, and it's wonderful. And then it ends, and it's heartbreaking. And this, what's great about this show is it's going and going for 7 seasons. So we really, really have gotten to get to know our fellow actors and crew.
The Barnabula.
Shula. Chaperone.
Nice moment is talking, no touching, no touching. I had one job.
And also, given that it's shot in a place where most people don't live, it's similar to kind of doing regional theater or something, or doing a movie out of town. You kind of develop a closeness that you don't necessarily get when you're working in either New York or LA, where everyone's kind of bonding because everyone's kind of there, leaving their families and their lives behind, and you're there. So there's a lot of outside the work, hanging out and getting to know each other. And so it's been really special to forge these bonds and these relationships, and then be able to play together, with these people who are becoming, who have become family. So for me, I would say it's the people. It's absolutely the people and the love between us, and also I think getting to work on something that has a overtly kind of functional context as well is special too, beyond just pure entertainment. And I think most art is not written to be just entertainment. I mean, there's plenty of it that is out there, and I've been lucky enough to be on other projects like that as well. But this is definitely special in that sense. The people from Dallas Jenkins all the way to just even background actors who kind of just have such a sense of gratitude to be there. That's the one thing I would say that is unique about this is it feels like everyone there is really kind of happy to be there. Mm-hmm. I can't speak for everyone, but from the medics to the catering to the craft services to the the casting to the production to the actors to everybody in the crew from like I said, Dallas on down. It really is special. I know it's you guys see all the behind the scenes stuff, and it may feel contrived, but it really is. It really is like that. It really is just a wonderful, fun experience. It does not feel like work at all.
That's wonderful. And I see you nodding a lot, Anne. So you have.
Oh yeah, I second everything he says. Yes, yes, yes,
Everything.
yes. It's a big family. It really is, and yeah, I just leave it like that. It's a big, nice family.
That's great. Has there been any moments that have been most impacting to you?
Well, for me, it was definitely the healing scene. Because again, what Aalok said earlier, when you're in a scene with Jonathan, who plays Jesus, all you do is reacting, because he just has, he personified Jesus, his characteristics so much that you really feel the love he has for you as an actor, and also, from character to character.
I can see you're not as handsome as you said. Thank you. I don't remember everything being so bright. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, friend.
So the healing scene was so much more than just a scene, playing a character. It was, I really felt touched in a way. And, a little bit behind the scenes, when Jesus comes and heals Shula and he puts his hand over her eyes, we had to swap out my contacts. And it took a little while because it is painful and the contacts are so big. So while the lady who dealt with my contacts was there taking out the contacts, and Dallas Jenkins, the director, wanted me to stay in character, which is rather difficult in such an emotional scene, and then someone is fumbling with your eyes, Jonathan kept quoting Bible verses over me, and which helped me staying in character. And and it was just amazing when my contacts were out and I was right back in the scene. So yeah, that was an incredible experience.
You must feel that you're a new character now that the contacts are removed.
Exactly, and I have to recreate her. That's you're absolutely right, because now she is a new person, and I have to recreate her. I did recreate her. So yeah.
I've never seen the Holy Temple. Can you believe that?
I wonder why.
So that now begs the question, and Auntie Mame too asked this: are they, or will they ever be more than just good friends, or will they go separate ways?
Who knows?
You want an answer, or I'm not sure.
You have an answer? I don't know.
I mean, first of all, we don't have an answer. And even if there is any answer, we don't know. I would personally say it may, this is, obviously the writers will do whatever they want to do. I do feel, though, the way the story is going now, and we know where it's headed and what needs to be covered now in the 7 seasons, I feel like all the stories are kind of going to coalesce maybe in a way that's leading up to, the crucifixion and resurrection and all that. So it may not make sense story wise to, pull focus from kind of, our characters kind of just coming in, sprinkling a little fairy dust, as Dallas says, every now and then, and commenting, kind of the first 2 people who are at the car crash and at the scene before the cops. I think that's another way the writers described Barnaby and Shula once to us.
We all have setbacks. They can be hard to swallow.
They definitely have changed now in a sense where we've seen the different side of their humanity other than just surface quips and things like that. So there may be more stuff where they are a part of this ministry, like others are. And so maybe continued heartfelt moments, but also a lot of continued comedy as well. So yeah, I personally don't think it really makes sense to develop that. And I also love how, and again, the writers can do whatever they want. I can't speak for them, and I only speak for myself as Aalok, not the chosen. But I think it would be a little contrived to kind of go there a little bit, with this, with that. And it's also beautiful that there's friendships, and I know there's customs, and people may say, oh, it's first century, a man and a woman would not be friends, but we don't necessarily know that, right? It's there's a lot of things that wouldn't have happened that happened, in this time period. And, we were friends of Mary Magdalene's, and, I think we're townsfolk who have a fondness for each other. But yeah, I don't think, I don't see that personally, nor does it totally make sense to me. But listen, I'm an actor. I will do whatever. You tell me to hit my mark, I'll go hit my mark. So.
Okay. So speaking of, you're an actor, and you mentioned little DJ just sent in a last minute question. Who is your favorite director in the whole world?
This is a trick question. This is a loaded question. Definitely not Dallas Jenkins. So, my favorite director in the whole world. Oh man. It's that's like, I don't know. I would have to work with, let's make some phone calls. Was it DJ? Tell DJ to call up Spielberg and Cameron Crowe and some others and cast me. And then, I'll do those movies, and then I'll see, if it's still Dallas. All right, DJ.
You have something to add to that?
Well, I have to say that I worked with David Fincher on a movie, and Dallas comes pretty close. He is very much a perfectionist, like David Fincher is. Yeah, with these long shots as well, and having everything perfect. And so they're pretty close. Yeah,
I will say, we're talking about Dallas. Obviously the question is presented in a tongue-in-cheek way there, but I will say, Dallas is just. He is really, like, having worked with him and then gone back and then worked with other people. And I did a movie last year with a director, Rebecca Miller, who's the late Arthur Miller's daughter, Daniel Day-Lewis's wife. It was an incredible opportunity. Great, amazing director. And it was amazing. It was interesting how their styles are so different. Rebecca would kind of give notes more about the inner life and very few notes. And, that may be helpful in that context, right? And maybe she saw that in me as an actor, and that was what was helpful. Like, sometimes directors will just give you, like, whatever works. And sometimes you don't direct. The last thing you want to do is give an actor a note, and in the case of the healing scene, Dallas didn't really give me any notes that day because he just saw I was dialed in. And then on some days, he'll give a lot of notes. But the thing about Dallas is I've never seen a director who has that much awareness of, like, there'll be a scene with like 15 actors in it, and he'll give specific detailed notes to each person, and he'll clock everything that's happening.
First things first, I do know that Jesus will be sitting there. We're going to work backwards from where you ultimately land. So Barnaby and Shula are actually going to be outside. I'm going to have James sitting here. When you see Mata come in, you immediately stand up, and she immediately takes your seat. She has she has no patience or social graces about, oh, thank you, I'll take that. And Zebedee, you can be on this side, and Salom's in the middle. So when you're pointing out the herbs, you're not only saying, oh, we've got this and this, you're also kind of pointing around the room. Here we go, you're going to be here. You're oftentimes trying to get a little closer to Jesus, and generally you consider yourself his personal assistant.
He's kind of important.
Yeah. Action.
And not just technical notes, he also will give notes that will be connected to subtext and things like that, and then also be giving notes to the camera crew and the gaffers and everyone. And he's hyper aware. Like, I don't think I've ever worked with a director who is that aware of everything that's going on, and also kind of knows what he wants, and he'll keep shooting a scene until he gets what he wants. But he's also economical in a sense too. Like, if he gets something, he knows he's got it. He's not going to do like, oh, let's do another one. Now let's try this. Now let's try this. Yeah, at this point now, he's already seeing, like a chess player, multiple steps ahead, knowing what he needs in editing. He gets a lot of coverage. He does get a lot of coverage, but we were just shooting season 4, and Ann and I were in this scene that was like a 8-minute take, or more. I think both of the scenes we just did were kind of long takes. And he did a lot of different angles, but he would there's times where you just do one take and move on. And then there's times where you have to do it over and over and over again. And it's really, really cool to work with him. So I'd say favorite right now, Dallas. Let's give it to Dallas. Let's give him the edge right now.
Yeah.
I mean, we are still employed, right? I mean, I have to say that, right?
Dallas Jenkins gets it, right? Favorite. That's great. So
I would like to add one more thing, and I agree with everything Aalok said. But Dallas is also an actor's director, so he can really put himself into our shoes and speak our language, which I really appreciate. So yes,
that's great. That's awesome. That's nice to hear. It really is. Do you have any other projects that you're working on right now? And anything going on?
Well, I was a couple of weeks ago aired my episode on the Rookie Feds, where I played a former spy turned politician. So that was pretty cool.
You're awesome. I saw your clip. It was so good.
Thank you.
Yeah,
thank you. So it was a lot of fun.
You've been angling for Victor's position.
Of course. I knew Costa was smuggling. Victor was covering for him. Politically, my hands were tied until you and your merry band of special agents showed up.
Glad we could be of service.
And then before that, my episode on SWAT aired, where I played a Russian terrorist. So those are usually the roles I play. So turning from that into a blind woman, and now here is,
Then you turn into a politician.
A great challenge.
Blind again.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
How about you, Alok? What do you have going on?
So I just was talking about this movie I just did. So that's going to come out soon. So I'm excited about that. It's called She Came to Me. It's a romantic comedy starring Peter Dinklage, Anne Hathaway, Marissa Tomei. And I play the Peter Dinklage character's librettist, who's the person who writes, he's an opera writer. And I play the guy who, writes the book, the script.
Yes. And then I think the act break is right after this scene. What?
I can't do this.
What do you mean?
I can't get inside it.
Again? You love this idea.
I wanted to love it.
We have a couple nice scenes, where we're collaborating, and so I'm really, really excited about that project. And I got some theater stuff that is happening, and then stuff that I'm can't talk about. Fingers crossed that I'll be involved in. And then I also do. I was mentioning earlier, I do audio production and composition as well. So I got a few projects that I'm working on right now as a composer as well.
Very good. In the last interview, we did something that was seemed to be a fan favorite, and it was borrowing from James Lipton. I don't know if you've ever seen that inside the Actors Studio, where he did a blitz of 10 questions at the end of his interview. So we're going to do that with you right now, and we'll try to close it up with that. I'll start with one, and then we'll move to the other. So the second person has to remember the question. We'll start with you, Alok. What is your favorite food?
Favorite food. I like a lot of different foods. I would say right now I'm craving some saag paneer. This is like spinach and paneer is like the cheese, the North Indian dish. So I'm craving some of that with like an onion kulcha, which is like a bread with onion in it, and just want to eat the crap out of it right now. So this is in this moment. That's what I want. That is my craving. Chosen fans.
All right.
Deliver it now.
And what about you? What is your favorite food?
Sushi. Always sushi.
Sushi.
Yeah. Even though I'm craving right now a really good waffle, because today's the last day of Passover. So tomorrow morning, you will see me in the kitchen eating probably 3 or 4 waffles. So yeah.
Very good. Then I'll stay with you on the second question. Who is your favorite author?
Mine?
Yes, and you.
Ellen Hildebrand. She writes feel-good novels, Hallmark kind of style.
Hello, how about you?
God, it's kind of lame. What's that?
God is a good author.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
book in history.
Yeah. So the ghost writing that God does. Yeah, that's a good one, right? I would it's kind of lame, but some of the the more popular ones like Crichton and Clancy and Grisham, kind of like those thrilling, dense, kind of political stuff and science stuff that's kind of interwoven into prose is fun for me.
Okay. We'll stay with you. Do you have a favorite word or phrase?
Well, this just came to my mind, so I should say it. There's a Sanskrit mantra that goes, Lokha samasta sukhino bhavantu, which means, may all beings everywhere be free and happy.
Very nice. And Anne, you have a favorite?
Well, a favorite scripture. It's basically, I always say it in German, durchforsche mein Herz und siehe, wie es meine, und wenn ich auf falschen Wege bin, führe mich auf richtigen Wege. Which means, search my heart and see how I mean it. And if I mean it in a wrong way, guide me on the right way.
Okay. And staying with you, we'll ask you, do you have a least favorite word, a word that just turns you off? And
me? Yes. A least favorite word. There are a lot of words in German I don't really like. They sound so harsh. I hate the word hate. Because, words have power. And even if I dislike someone or I don't agree with someone, and I would say I hate him, it's just such a heavy, dark word.
Right. What about you, Aalok? Word that just turns you off.
Well, I think with communicating, I think the subtext and the meaning and the context is probably more, connected to what the word means, the vibration of it and but lately my daughter's been saying duh a lot. Duh. Like, and DUH. And in the particular context in which she's been expressing that to me has been, quite annoying. So, I'll say, duh. I'd say that's the one. That's annoying. That's the one I don't like right now. It may change tomorrow because she may just be like, duh, in a very sweet way. And then I'll just be like, oh, come here. Give me a hug. But right now it's duh.
Okay. Now, back to you, Aalok. What really motivates you?
Family, community.
That's good.
Equity, love, art.
Leave some for
moments like this, all that. Sorry, it was one word answer. I'm done.
Oh no, that's
I can go on and on.
What about you? What motivates you?
The same. It's family, of course. My dogs motivate me to get up in the morning because they stand next to my bed and want to go outside and want to have food. So, my husband, of course, and family. My whole family is still in Germany.
Sure. Now, on the other side of that coin, Anne, what disheartens you the most?
The world is a cruel place right now. And seeing how people are fighting on social media, how they don't stop and listen and just have such a strong opinion and think their opinion is the only opinion, that is very disheartening. Yeah.
Oh. What disheartening?
Yeah, I agree with that. I think that is disheartening, but that's also kind of, it's probably, I agree that it is a time period has maybe, it feels more overtly polarizing, but it's probably always been, one of the downfalls of man and humanity is is having this sense of pride and ego that we can't understand or accept or be tolerant of others. So yeah, I'd say it's kind of what Anne said, that's disheartening to me, is that, live and let live is what I think we should follow that motto.
This is a simple one, but a little strange, but this is something that Mr. Lipton asked. What sound do you love to hear? We'll go with you, Aalok. What sound do you love to hear?
Like a baby laughing is a nice one.
Okay, that's fine. And what sound do you love?
Oh, we just got this really big wind chain we have in front of our door, and I leave the windows open, and I just hear this really dark, nice Glockenspiel. I don't know how you say it in English. It's this, this ding, 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 ding. Yeah, it's just beautiful. It's soothing. Yeah.
And we're going to turn that coin again, Anne. What sound do you hate to hear?
What sound do I? Oh, honestly, and I shouldn't probably say that because I am in one video games. There's it's like it drives me nuts. And my husband, he works for a video game company, so he has to do that sometimes, as his work. And then when I come into the living room, it's like I'm like, oh no. Yeah.
Right. How about you, Aalok? Is there anything that really just other than duh?
Well, I think when I hear like very off-key things, sometimes that can be jarring, like within context of music. But also, I just was, while she was answering, I was just thinking about when somebody has to sneeze and then they don't sneeze and they kind of internalize.
Aalok is the editor of this video. I just wanted you to know that what you said resonated with me. My dad does this all the time. And even when he does let them out, it's such this overbearing buildup that when he lets it out, it feels like he's not quite letting it all out. It's just so aggressive and loud. But I just want you to know that I feel you, and my dad, I'm sorry if this embarrassed you. I love you.
Like they don't quite, just sneeze, just let it out. I understand everyone's worried to sneeze now, or maybe sneezing is going to come back. I don't know. But there was a moment where I felt like people, around pandemic, it was maybe more obvious, that people wouldn't quite sneeze, so that sound of like withholding the sneeze, live your sneeze, just let it out, be your sneeze,
Uh-huh. So if you weren't an actor, Aalok, what other profession would interest you?
Am I allowed to say director? I think, yeah, I would love to direct.
You just enjoy staying in the in this field.
Yeah, I would love to. Yeah, I would love to direct. I think that's something that I think that I hope to do. But
you would be an amazing director.
Otherwise, growing up, I wanted to be a professional tennis player. So if you asked me this like 30 years ago, that's what I would have said that I would want to do for a living, is be a professional tennis player.
And how about you, Anne?
First of all, Aalok would be an amazing director. So if you ever direct anything, Aalok, hit your girl up, please. I would love to get directed by you. I would be a forensic psychologist.
Oh, very interesting.
I could see you playing one very well.
Yeah.
That's like definitely in your casting there, in life. And you'd be great in that.
Yeah. Is there a profession that you wouldn't go into? What would something you wouldn't want to do?
Politics.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to. It's interesting because I have an impulse to want to lead and that's there. But then, I certainly wouldn't want to have to get into that arena.
Sure. Okay, this will be the last question. When you go into heaven, what would you like to hear God say to you? Aalok?
Come on in.
That's good. That's a good one. That's a good one.
Wait. All right.
This is a fine place.
All right, come on. That's wonderful. Anne, how about you? What do you want to hear?
I mean, the most famous words, well done, my good and faithful servant. But also, I've seen every moment of your life, Anne, and I've been with you every moment of your life. And I would just want that assurance again and to hear it from him.
When you were in your lowest moment and you were alone, I did not turn my face from you. I saw you.
I believe that it would be nice to hear it now.
That's true.
It's now, but that's great. Well, listen, you've answered so many questions. That was just wonderful. Thank you for sharing your time with us. Thanks so much. I'm sure the fans are going to love this interview. Good luck in the future with this and with all your other endeavors that you have. All right, Aalok, and thank you so much. Barnaby, Shula,
Thank you, Anthony.
It's a pleasure having you both.
Thank you so much for
Thank you,
having
Anthony.
us.
Very good. Okay, so let's see if we can do this. Welcome, chosen fans. And they'll be right up with chatting. Oh, see, I messed up on chatting with the chosen. Okay, let's do it again. Noah, do not put this in the outtakes.
Shula! Yes! Chris! Yes!
Welcome, chosen fans. They're here. Barnaby and Shula.
Give yourself some grace, Anthony. You're not an actor.
Yeah.
So it's all good. It's all good. You know?
I am not an actor. I don't believe I had to look down at those lines. Oh, my goodness.
No, we get it. We get it. It's sometimes when you have like the one line, even as professional actors, it's the hardest.
Oh, it's so funny. I did it in one line on the last one, which was shocking. But the first one I did, it took me like 5-6 different times to try. So it was silly.
Who do Barnaby and Shula believe Jesus is at this point?
Well, she can't see anything because she's blind.
If you weren't an actor, Aalok, what other profession would interest you?
And not related, it can't be anything within... What are the rules to this question?
Who is your favorite director in the whole world?
Definitely not Dallas Jenkins. So,
Buddy, you're a great director. It's a little like